story that has come down in my family and consequently most of your families. It's actually on the Lane side. So, everybody, is there anybody here? Well, anyway, and I wrote this long short story, of my lines actually, called Piety. This was this black slave named Piety, and she was owned by Mr. and Mrs. Baline's daughter. I think her name was Elizabeth. Anyway, Mr. and Mrs. Balines were older people, and they were ill. It was in the winter, and so Elizabeth sent her slave, Piety, to the Ozarks to be with her parents and take care of her parents. Well, that was during the Civil War. So Piety is taking care of them, and they've gotten real attached to each other. Piety was a wonderful person, and everybody there was never anything bad said about Piety. Piety eventually did have a child named Tim, and he's known in the Ozark country as Black Tim. And anyway, he fell in love with a white woman. They couldn't get married, but they built a house next to each other and had several children. But back to Piety. So during the war, the Valines lived in this house that was like the kitchen's here. Then there's dog trot, a hallway, an open air hallway, and then the rest of the house is over here. And the reason they did that was so in the summer when they cook in the kitchen, they wouldn't heat the whole house. So anyway, when the soldiers, the northern soldiers came in, they decided to use the Valines house as a command post. So they had Piety move the two old people into the kitchen area, and they stayed in the main area. And the story goes that Mr. and Miss Valines had a lot of really nice things. They weren't rich, but they were okay, you know. And Mrs. Valines loved her silks and her laces, particularly laces. Anyway, they were both sick. And here comes the Union soldiers, and they take over the house, and they stay there a while, and they slaughter every animal on the farm, all the chickens, all the hogs, all the cows, everything. And they package it all up and put it on pack horses and take all this food. And when the soldiers leave, they left one guy, and they said, the commanders told this guy, said, as soon as we get out of sight, you light fire to everything. And he said, well, what about the old couple in the kitchen? He said, light fire to everything. So they meant burn them up, you know. So this soldier that was left. What?
Damn Yankees.
Yeah. So the soldiers left, and this one was left, and he said, he went in and he told Piety, he said, we have to get this old couple out because they're going to know if I don't fire everything. They won't see the smoke, so I've got to do it. But let's move them, and do you know of any place? And for those of you who are from this area, you know that there are a lot of caves in the area, a lot of caves, big ones. So Piety said, yeah, up the hill there's some caves. So they took these old people up and put them in the caves. And the soldier told Piety, you're free. You don't have to be a slave anymore. And she said, no, I'm not leaving these old people. And she didn't. And she stayed with the family until she died. So anyway, that's the story that I have heard.
Wow.